So then in stress, your brain is firing very incoherently, and at the same time, your heart is racing because the adrenaline from stress is telling you to run, fight, and hide, but social mores say you can't do any of those things. So now you're stepping on the gas and the brake at the same time, and your heart starts to race and starts to fire very incoherently. And when your heart is incoherent, you stop trusting yourself. You stop believing in yourself. You stop believing in your future and your dreams, because this center right here is the center from which we create. And when energy moves in this center, it begins to create more coherence in the heart. All these centers below, the centers of the body, excuse my art here, but this is the body here. It looked really good at one point. Our sexuality, our consumption of food, our ability to use our will to overcome the conditions in our environment. Most people live by these centers here. These are centers of awareness, centers of energy. And each one, every thought that you have produces a frequency. So this is what we call the 0-point field. It is the quantum field, the unified field, the energy that connects everything material. It is the consciousness of the all in all. It is oneness, wholeness, universal mind, infinite intelligence, 0-point field, the unified field, source, observer, the void, the fertile void, all possibilities, the eternal now, the infinite unknown, the very life force that holds everything together. And it's a unifying field. And scientists have been trying to unify the principles and the energy of the universe to explain how matter exists. Are you with me still? So energy then, the 0-point field, slows down in frequency, and it reaches a certain point, and at this level there's an explosion called the Big Bang. And all of a sudden energy can't slow anymore before it divides and becomes polarized. And the patterns of everything material exist at the speed of light. And it's the patterns then that slow energy down to take form and structure that ultimately appear as matter. Now, all of us, the divine aspect of ourselves, came from this universal intelligence, and we came all the way down into density. And this is the realm of our senses. And we can experience the three-dimensional reality with our senses, and we spend our whole life being a somebody, or having some type of body, or knowing someone, or being someone, owning certain things, living somewhere in some time, and this becomes the identity. Are you with me still? So then, people then spend the majority of their life living in this way, and they experience from matter the greatest separation from the unified field. Here is source, and if you're living as a body local in space and time, you're experiencing a separation between you as a consciousness and the consciousness of the unified field. So when you're living in a body in space and time, it takes a long time for your dreams to happen. Are you with me still? So if you're thinking certain thoughts, and certain thoughts produce certain feelings, you're taking a thought and you're beginning to store it as energy or emotion in one of these centers. And most people are thinking in these first three centers, and when they do, they're storing energy in their first three centers, and their body's being conditioned to be the mind. It takes opening this center to begin the creative process. This is the center of oneness. This is the center of wholeness. This is the union of polarity and duality. And if you can't get energy into your heart then, for the most part then, it requires a coherent brain and a coherent heart to begin to affect the nature of reality, to begin to affect matter. Are you with me still? So then every thought that you think produces a frequency. And most people's frequencies, most people's thoughts are in this realm right here. It would make sense then, if they're thinking lower thought frequencies, then it's going to take a long time for their dreams to come true. How many people understand? Turn the person next to you and explain.